Our hearts beat to the city streets.
Hello guys, Michaela here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another speed build. Today we are tackling the Simmery 2024 shell. So it's a shell challenge hosted by the wonderful, amazing Simmery Sims, who you can find here on YouTube as well as on Twitch, where they stream quite frequently. And they are hosting this absolutely gorgeous shell challenge. So I saw it on their stream and I was skeptical at first because the shape is very weird. And I'm like, if I'm gonna do like a one house, how do I lay it out? Because obviously there is a big part of the interior which would be without windows. And I didn't really know how to approach that. So what I decided to do, kind of cheated the system a little bit, if you will. I decided to turn this into a 3-unit kind of apartment building in Tartosa. So it's I don't really know how to call it. It's not something I would often see where I live, but it's basically like a big house with 3 apartments. So downstairs you have 2. One is very small for only 1 to 2 Sims because there is only space for there was only space for 1 bedroom. Then next door you have a family apartment with a toddler, no sorry, an infant. So it's a slightly bigger unit with 2 bedrooms, 1 master and 1 for the infant. And upstairs we have again quite a spacious apartment for 2 parents and like a teen or a kid. So again 2 bedrooms. And the upstairs apartment also has a lot of exterior spaces because it's just the way that worked, and a lot of the decks are upstairs because I couldn't really figure out a way to roof it. I initially started to try and roof, like use normal roofing, but it was impossible because the shape is just so quirky and weird and I didn't really know how to go about it. So that's why I initially ended up deciding for a flat roof, which is not something I do very often for some reason. I love modern stuff, but I'm just not good at putting together flat roof buildings for some reason. But this one turned out pretty nice because I felt like it would be too flat if I didn't use like overhang. I used this like full length fence that we got with Eco Lifestyle to make it look like my favorite kind of overhang, like 1 tile wall, which I usually would do with the wall, but here I did it with the fence because obviously if it's a shell challenge you can't really add any walls. If you'd like to take part in this challenge, you don't have much time because I think Simmery is going to be touring them today and tomorrow, so you might have to like really move to in order to be able to have your build toured, or you could just do it for fun. You can find it under the hashtag in the description, which is the Simmery 2024 shell, I think. So you can find this on the gallery under that hashtag. You can also see some of the other entries. I've seen some of them. They're amazing as well. So you can check them out on the gallery. But yeah, you can find this on the gallery as well as the trove house, obviously, as always. Also, I'm not sure if you saw, but I shared my Notion template that I use for planning out my content. I have been kind of in a Notion mood lately, so I've been kind of redoing my own like whole Notion setup, and I've been thinking about creating more complex Sims template for like gameplay, legacy challenges, some of the other challenges. So I think it could be like a lot of fun because you can yeah, I really love playing with Notion, but I would love to learn more, so that could maybe help me to get better at it, and I could create something fun for others in the process, because obviously I am fine with the one that I have at the moment because that's what I need for my own content. But I feel like a lot of people may be looking for like gameplay stuff and things like that, so that might be fun. I've seen some of these around the internet on like Reddits and websites, so people kind of making their own templates for Sims and stuff. But I feel like it could be a lot of fun and I could share it with others. So yeah, I'm gonna think about that. I have quite a lot of work to do these days with like university, and yeah, so I'm not sure if that's gonna be something that I'm gonna do, but it's an idea, and you know, maybe I'll put it to practice, but I'm not sure. Depends on if I find the time. So here I am working on the exterior. This is kind of like a shared barbecue area. Let me tell you, these plastic chairs from the 4-end pack bring me to my childhood. I am not sure if you use them where you live, but for me, it was like a standard. My my grandparents had them. We had them at first when we built our house. They are a classic, so for having them in the game is just so cool, and they come in like very pretty swatches as well, so it kind of I was able to keep the neutral kind of look the of the exterior, because I wanted to go for like a very neutral, earthy, very like light color palette, and I was very happy that I was able to kind of transfer that to those chairs. And now we are moving on to the interior. So just so that I can tell you some information about the build. So this lot is called, I don't know, because I placed the shell over it, so I'm not sure, but it's the lot by the waterfall in Tartosa. It's a 30 by 20, and the build comes in at 133,295 simoleons. So I'm not sure how it works with the residential rental lot. I know it's been a bit buggy, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work for you, but I assume that the person who owns it has to buy the house in full, and then the rest of the people actually pay the rent to that person. I don't know. Can someone please verify that for verify, maybe tell me if that's true, because I have no idea. I don't do gameplay, so I have no clue if that's how it works or not, but I think that would make sense for me from like a realistic point of view, but maybe the Sims team just went a different route. Yeah, so initially for the color palette, I went for blue and green, because not blue and yellow, because I was inspired by the tiles that I placed in the kitchen, but then I just didn't like it. I ended up using them in the family apartment next door, but here it just didn't look right. I just didn't like it. So I ended up going for a green color palette, which, you know, if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm kind of obsessed with green. I love green. It's a beautiful color, especially in The Sims. So I use it quite obsessively, because you can just go crazy with plants if you choose like green color scheme. So that's what I did here. I went nuts with plants. I placed a lot of them around here. There was also a small office space here in the living room, and the bedroom is off to like here through the door. That's a small bedroom with a double bed. So I imagine a single sim with a cat living here, but you can move in a family, or like a couple if you wanted to, because they would fit kind of just fine. Also, let me kind of again talk about this beautiful dresser that we got with the 4-rent pack. Honestly, I am absolutely loving the things that we're getting in the newer packs, as well as the new castle estate kit. I haven't tried building anything with yet, because I just bought it kind of like an hour ago, because I didn't have time for it yesterday, because I was working on my master thesis. So I didn't play with it yet, but I've seen some screenshots on social media of other people already building something with it. And even though I've never built a castle before, I haven't even tried or thought about building a castle before, because for me it just seems like a very long process, because, you know, castles are usually big. But honestly, seeing other people's work with the kit, I am tempted to try a build castle. I'm looking for like something small. I don't want like a full-on castle, even though I would love to recreate one of Czechia's castles. I've shared yesterday evening, I think, on Thursday evening, the I shared pictures of castles in my country, because we have ton of them, like maybe thousands of castles around the whole country, and they're gorgeous. So I shared some of them on Instagram as well as Twitter, and I would love to recreate at least one of them, but they're all so big. And I really don't have the capacity to build that. So yeah, maybe someone will decide and build one of these, but I'm not, because I just don't have the patience. But I've been looking for inspiration pictures on Pinterest for smaller castles, so I might actually do one. I would love to maybe do for Tuesday, but I'm not very realistic. I don't think that's very realistic because I have an exam on Wednesday. That's my last exam of the semester. So I will have to study for that. So maybe Friday I'll try. I'll have to shuffle things around a little bit because I have things scheduled and ready to go, and it's just gonna pain in the ass. But I'm gonna try. I'll see if I can actually finish by the time I need to record the voiceover, because we might be going away as well for a couple of days next week after I'm done with the exam. So yeah, I'll just need to figure it out somehow. Anyway, we're now working on the bathroom. I think this is the only bathroom that I show because pretty much all of the bathrooms are the same except the color schemes when it comes to the wallpaper. So I use different swatches of this Home Chef Hustle wallpaper. Also, did we get the roadmap last week and I've already talked about it? I feel like I did. We have a kit, stuff, but yeah, I've talked about it. But still, I'm quite excited. We are getting the 2 new kits, which are getting quite mixed. Like the 2 kits that came out yesterday, they're getting quite mixed reviews. I think some people are very excited, some people are not that excited. I'm personally a very simple person. I'm happy with pretty much anything, which I know is a bit sad, but I've seen a lot of people being attacked, especially at Creator Network, like the people in the EA Creator Network, that they're just kind of happy with everything that we get and that they're not criticizing. But from my perspective, I'm not that critical, and I just don't see the faults that other people see, if that makes sense. Which I know sounds pretty ridiculous, but just try and think about that maybe other people are not as strongly opinionated about certain things. I know it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but for me, I'm happy with anything, really. I don't really care that much. I understand that forend can be, or like is glitchy for some players, and they're kind of finding it impossible to play. They're corrupting save files, and I understand that. Okay, that's not great, but from my perspective, I haven't experienced any of these bugs myself. I don't have any issues with it, so it just, I don't see why I should criticize, you know? So yeah, I'm not sure if that made any sense whatsoever, but just try, the people who are criticizing others for not being critical, just try to maybe get into their shoes and imagine that people have other opinions that aren't, people have opinions that are different from yours. I don't know. Maybe it's like a very controversial opinion. I don't know. Anyway, we moved on to the other apartment, which is the family apartment, which is very colorful. I absolutely love this living room. And with the kitchen with yellow and blue, it's just so beautiful. I'm very happy with how this apartment turned out. I mean, I love all of them, to be honest, because I don't know, as I'm just something about this like vibe of like light colors. So I've talked about how in like during autumn, I had this very strong urge to build with darker wood tones, and now I have the urge to build with lighter wood tones. So yes, I have a lot of lighter wood going in my next couple of builds, which yeah, I find it very funny that my preferences for wood tones change over the year with like the seasons, but I think it makes sense if you think about it, because the seasons change, the colors in the nature change as well. So I think it makes sense to have different preferences throughout the year, even for colors, because I feel like in winter you'd prefer like colder tones like blues and greens, while in the summer you might prefer more vibrant colors like orange, yellow. I don't know, just like my kind of idea. But I know there's a whole like psychology colors, that some are like calming, some are stimulating. I don't really know any details, but yeah, I think it makes sense if you think about it overall. Yeah, now we are working on the master bedroom. I stuck with the color scheme of yellow and blue, which is somehow carried throughout the whole apartment, even though the living room is kind of, I added more color to that because I don't know. I felt like whenever I do family homes, I usually go for color because for some reason I associate families with colors. I feel like if you buy toys for your kids and things like that, they're just bound to be colorful, right? So yeah, that's why I think the idea of a family home for me is color. And I also felt like it fit nicely with kind of like the tropical vibe of Tartosa. Yeah, I don't know. And now we are working on the bedroom for the infant. I made sure that they have everything they need. So there is a changing table, there is a bed, and you can fit, of course, a full bed, or like a toddler bed after they age up, and then a full bed if you want to move in here yourself, like your family maybe. Then I imagine that the owners of this house are actually living upstairs because they have obviously the most space when it comes to exterior. So I felt like it only made sense that they have the most space for them. So they have the interior is not that big, but the exterior there's obviously plenty to do outside. You have like seating, barbecue. I placed some skill building items outside as well. So I felt like that was only appropriate that this person would be, like this family would be the owners of this home. But yeah, I imagined living like a single mom with her teenage daughter living here. But again, you could move in whatever, whoever you want. You can fit up to 2 adult Sims and then a kid or a teen or even like a young adult, like their kid maybe, I don't know. But yeah, you can fit like 3 Sims in here as well. I went for like a bit of a more elegant color scheme. So I have like a darker brown, and I kind of based the color scheme off of this rug that we got with for rent. So I have these like pink and reddish tones throughout the apartment, and I really, really love that. With the light flooring and the white walls, it looks really pretty, and yeah, it's just a really nice mix of colors, and I think it's a bit of a different vibe than the apartments downstairs. Those are a bit more colorful and vibrant and like fresh, while this one is a bit more elegant, which I thought was appropriate for a person who owns such a building. I feel like I don't know, this maybe just that's my my idea of how a person who would own a build like that look. Because I don't know, I don't imagine someone who owns, you have to be quite rich, especially in today's world where estate is pretty damn expensive. So you'd have to be rich to afford a building like this. So I imagine that the Sims are, you know, quite rich. The ones that live here, even though the apartment is very small. So maybe they are rich, but they kind of want choose to spend money on maybe experiences rather than like big houses. So they bought or maybe built a big house, but they decided to rent some of the units so that they can make some of the money back, which I think is a very smart decision. I think this like entrance hallway might be my favorite part of this apartment, which I know is quite crazy, but there's just something about this space that I just absolutely love. You have the paintings, leaning paintings from Eco Lifestyle, you have some clutter, and I just love how it looks. And I know it's ridiculous because I love the living room as well, but I think the kind of entrance hallway is just my favorite for some reason. I also made sure to add lots of plants because I was really going for like a very lush vibe. That's why I also placed some of the landscaping on the roof of the house. I don't know, it just felt like it's going to blend in with the surrounding a little bit better, and I really love how that turned out. Here we're working on one of the decks that comes with the upstairs apartment. This one is for a barbecue, so I placed a table with 4 chairs and a grill. Now we moved on back on the inside, and this is going to be the main bedroom, which is fairly small because initially I wanted this to be like a 1-bedroom apartment, but then I thought, you know what, I could fit a bedroom, like a second bedroom, so that's why the bedrooms are quite cramped and small, because it was initially supposed to be a lot only for like a couple, but I imagine that this person just has a teenage daughter, they're raising her alone, and yeah, I don't know, it's just my vision. I don't like have specific stories, but I sometimes have like a family dynamic in mind, but obviously you can, you know, move in whoever you want to. Also, I was very excited that I got to use, like, that I used these windows from the Desert Luxe kit, I think it's called. We are getting so many packs now, I'm losing myself in the names sometimes. So yeah, I used those windows and I really loved that. I paired them with, I believe, Eco Lifestyle windows, and I think they look really, really pretty. I initially had those, I don't really know how to call them. They came with Eco Lifestyle as well, but they're like kind of like open shutters. But I didn't really like that as much as these, so I'm very happy that I got to use this in here, because I don't think I've used them before, or if I did, not that often. Here, the color scheme of the bedroom is inspired by the bed that is, I believe, from Snowy Escape. So it comes with like these pinkish but also bluish tones, so that's why I decided to go for. In here I also made sure to place a desk so that this sim can make their homework edit if it's like a kid or a teen, and also cluttered it up with like the standard stuff that you would probably find in a bedroom of a kid or a teen. So like books, some gaming stuff, some knickknacks, plants. I placed a lot of plants throughout this apartment, like throughout the entire complex, because as I said, I was kind of going for like a very colorful, very like lush, I don't know, vibe. And now we're going to move on to the last part, which is the I forgot how it's called. The kind of like a balcony up here, which is accessible through the kids' bedroom. And I placed just some like the scale building items. And I also realized I forgot to furnish the downstairs kind of balcony for the apartment. So I do that as well in a minute. And yeah, that's almost it for today's video. If you want to download this, but I'm gonna get it on the gallery. My ID is michaelasimsyt, or you can try the hashtag michaelasimsyt if the ID doesn't work for you, or you can download the tray files in the description below, as always, on my Ko-fi page. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you would not miss a video. I'm going to be uploading 2 times a week in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.